Did you know you can get your tax return prepared for free? There are 3 ways you can get your tax return prepared for free. The first way is through a VITA or TCE program that is sponsored by the IRS. VITA stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, and TCE stands for Tax Counseling for the Elderly. To qualify through either of these programs, your gross income, total income per year has to be $67,000 or less. Or if you have a disability and you have English isn't your first language, you can go to a VITA workshop or a TCE workshop and get your tax return prepared for free. Now, when I taught accounting at a collegiate level, I ran one of these workshops. The IRS monitors the workshop. The IRS requires all volunteers to be tested to ensure that they are proficient enough to prepare a tax return. And in my workshop, I reviewed every single tax return before it got filed. And I'm assuming the other workshops are going to work similarly. Like they're going to have qualified people there to prepare your return. So you don't have to worry about the quality of the return that's being prepared at these workshops. And again, if your income is $67,000 or less, or you have disabilities and English isn't your first language, you can go to a VITA or TCE workshop and get your tax return prepared for free. Now, when you go to the VITA TCE website, I'm going to put the link in the description. There's a tool where you can check to see where the closest workshop is. And if you scroll down to that, you'll see that there's a link where you can find locate one of the clinics. And then all you have to do is put in your zip code, and you can put the distance, how far from your zip code, and you will be able to find all of the workshops that are available in your area. The next way you can get your tax return prepared for free is using the IRS Trusted Partner program. Now, I will put the link in the description to get to these partners, because you want to go to the irs.gov account. You don't want to get there by a .com account, because sometimes we know how this works. Some people are going to try to scam you. You start filling everything out. You get to the end of it, and it's like, oh, you owe $200. So go to the irs.gov website, and you will find the trusted partners. Now, again, your adjusted gross income for this one needs to be $84,000 or less. And on the website, it will show you how to determine your adjusted gross income. Your adjusted gross income is not the amount on box 1 of your W-2. That's your gross income. Your adjusted gross income is your income after you make specific adjustments. And those adjustments are listed out on the frequently asked section of the website. They have a formula there, so it should be easy for you to calculate it. And a lot of times these trusted partners will have a tool to check your eligibility as well. So these are 8 of the partners. These are not small companies. These are large companies. We got Tax Act here, Tax Slayers there, firetaxes.com. And in some cases, in most cases, you can also file your state tax return as well. So this is another place where you can get your tax return prepared for free. Now, the third and final option is a program that the IRS launched recently. It's called Direct File. So you are filing your tax return directly with the IRS, and they're going to give you a way to check if you're eligible to direct file with the IRS. And so I will put that link in the description as well. Now, I recommend that you set up an irs.gov account. Now, this is something that the IRS did very well. You won't hear me say that a lot, but this is something the IRS did very well. So you can sign up and get your own IRS account. You just click the link, go to irs.gov, sign into your account. Then what it will do is give you the options. You can set up one for you, and you can set up an account for your business. And what you can do in this account is you can pull tax returns. They go back 10 years. You can pull transcripts of records. You can sign powers of attorney. You can communicate with the IRS. You can set up payment plans. You can see your balance. You can check the status of your tax return. Once I prepare a tax return, every week I get emails and text messages. Hey, what's the status of my tax return? Hey, what's the status of my tax return? You can go to irs.gov and you can get the status of your refund and your tax return. All that is in this. And again, this is something the IRS has done very well. And I won't say that a lot. So who are really the people that are eligible for these free programs? I say that they are what I call vanilla returns. What is a vanilla return? You have a W-2, you own a home, so you have a 1098 for your mortgage and your taxes. You may trade a few stocks. You got an E-Trade or Fidelity account. I'm not talking day traders. If you got 10 or 20 stocks through a traditional, pretty large account, E-Trade, something like that, and you give to charity, those I think are good candidates for these types of programs. If you got restricted units, you invested in oil and gas, you got 10 rental properties, this isn't the place to go. In my opinion, this is not the place where you want to go. You do want to talk to a professional so that you can get the most advantageous position to meet your tax profile. Direct file is directly with the IRS. I know what you're thinking. Yep, the IRS is going to do the worst position possible when I file with them. Again, if you have a vanilla return, there isn't going to be much a CPA can do for you to reduce your taxes, especially now that the calendar year is over. After December 31, there's not much a CPA can do for you, an enrolled agent, any tax professional. There's not much we can do for you to reduce your taxes. You're limited on what you can do, which is why you want to do tax planning before the end of the year. Have that comment in other videos. You can I'll put some links in the description for the other videos where I talk about tax planning. So 3 ways you can get your tax returns prepared for free. You can go to a VITA or TCE workshop. You can use some of the trusted partners, or you can direct file if you meet the eligibility for either of these programs. And again, on the websites, when you go to talk to these different programs and different people at the programs, they're going to have a way for you to test your eligibility to see if you meet the requirements to get your tax return prepared for free.